Faith is the beginning, the gentle stirring of our wings. When we're encouraged by our need.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Canvas of Hope, bringing you hope and inspiration through life's challenges that we're all facing at this particular time. I'm so excited. I have an amazing guest with me this afternoon. Her name is Sarah Weise, and she's the CEO of award-winning marketing research Bixa and the best-selling author of Instabrain, The New Rules for Marketing to Generation Z. For 15 years, Sarah has been a guide to hundreds of leading brands, including Google, IBM, Capital One, and PBS. So I'm so excited to have Sarah with me this afternoon. Welcome, Sarah.
Thank you so much for having me. Linda, you and I really connected for the first time only a couple of weeks ago. And it was kind of one of those instant connections, one of those moments where you meet somebody and you just know that they're like your kind of people.
Yes, I felt the same way.
I just loved meeting you and was so moved by your story and your advocacy that's come out of it that I'm just so honored to be here today. So thank you so much for having me.
I'm so excited to have you. And I feel the same way. I felt the instant connection like you do when you meet some, people that are on the same vibe or trying to do good in the world. I think that's, where we have that common meeting place. You're just an amazing up and coming and superstar. I mean, you're already there. I shouldn't say up and coming, but you shared with me some pretty amazing things that you have in your future. And before we get there, though, I think it's just part of what we talked about earlier is a part of your story. And, we're looking at bringing hope and inspiration to folks. And I have to tell you, my hat's off to you and your partner for making, a huge shift. And I'm going to let you tell the story because it's really pretty amazing. As we're asking all of our summit participants, please share with us a time when you had facing some difficulties. And I think for you right now is probably amazing what's coming out of it. So share with us a time when you faced a difficult situation and what are you doing?
Yeah, I was thinking about, I know it might be a bit woo-woo for this crowd, but I really believe that the universe has a way of kind of bringing people together when they have something to share with each other or when they have something to learn from each other. And over the past couple of weeks, I've probably spoken at like maybe 30 podcasts and radio shows and virtual summits on how to pivot your business in a time of crisis. And I wonder if that's why we're here today. I've been going through it, like Linda said, I've been going through it with a passion project of mine. And I wonder if that's why we met. So I hope that I can offer some hope and inspiration to other business owners. And I kind of tell a little bit about my story. My story is really about the Women's Worth Summit. And it's about listening. And I know you asked me to pick a word here today, and my word would be listening. As many of you know, or some of you know, who's probably watching this or in this community, I'm one of the organizers of the Women's Worth Summit, and what a year to get into events. Right?
Yes.
And what happened during this time could have been a real hardship, and it is a real hardship. But we're trying to look at it through a different lens. This is a passion project of mine, and really the goal here was to offer women in this community and across the country really a chance to meet and connect in person. And we had, we were expecting 3,500 professional women to attend this conference for the purpose of forming in-person connections. And then COVID happened. Big sponsors pulled out. The hotel wouldn't allow us to reschedule without get this, $200,000 fee. How chivalrous of them. They really, really did a number on us. And there was also the question of like, who was going to buy tickets? When we don't know when we're going to be allowed out of our houses again. And even if that's, the fall, maybe, I don't know, earlier
And
maybe,
and
but
even if we are, who may want to be in a group with 3,500 other people?
yeah, we just weren't sure who was going to buy tickets. So we went to work. I mean, I run a market research company, so it's kind of my jam is to do some research. That's what we did. We started calling people, and we called all the people who had bought tickets and the people who had told us they were going to buy tickets. And we just started calling people. And within a couple days, we had results. Like, we knew exactly what we needed to be doing. And I think it was all because we just called and said, would you go to if we went virtual, would you buy a virtual ticket? And how can we, like, honestly, how can we support you right now? Because you're going through stuff too. It's not just us, it's everybody. How
Everyone.
can we, as a company who supports women in business, how can we help you? And what they told us was, it was hard to hear for us, but they basically said, no, I don't, what I need right now is not a conference. There are tons of free virtual summits out there. There's tons of stuff going on, podcasts and everything I can do for free. I'm not going to pay for your conference right now. And even if I would have a month ago, and right now I just can't do that. But what I need right now, when we asked, what do you need right now? They said things like, I am so, my life is crazy day to day. I have kids running around and I'm trying to keep my business afloat. And I need to be working in my business, not on my business. I need help. Like, I need tactical resources. I need things like virtual assistants and somebody to do my social media and graphic design support. And I've always wanted to write this book, and this might be a good time to do it. Or I want to launch that podcast, or I want to, create my YouTube channel, or they had so many goals that they needed help with. And they were like, if you could help me with that right now, that would be helpful, not a summit. So
out of that, like real practical support and to get things done and to focus on the business, not being in the business.
Right. And they talked about accountability. They talked a lot about, my to-dos are slipping off my list every day because I'm being pulled in 27 different directions. I'm in front of Zoom meetings all day long. Like, my kids are going nuts, screaming while I'm on a Zoom meeting. Like, I have to homeschool. And I mean, there were so many stories, very different experiences, but they all kind of had similar threads. And so, unfortunately we had to shut down our business. We had to go out of business, but it gave us an idea for our next business. And it may be something that has to do with offering tactical support for women in the community and for women in business, and especially solopreneurs who are trying to do it all alone and just don't have that kind of support to offer them a team with assistants and experts that they need. And oh yeah, you want to launch your book? Like, we'll tell you exactly how to write it. And I mean, I wrote my book in 2 weeks. I published on the 3rd week, and it was out there. So, I mean, we can give you the strategies to do that. And really, make some sort of membership model where you're getting whatever goal you need to meet. We're helping you get there. So I think that's going to be maybe the next business, and it's not fully fleshed out yet. So, but it was,
sign me up if I could be one of your first customers. That would
in the pilot program. Yeah, let's do it.
Everything that I'm doing right now, it's writing this book. We're trying to raise money for an amazing cause for the Leukemia Lymphoma Society. We are doing this summit, and it takes a lot of effort to get all those pieces together, all the social media, the content, the swipe copy, all the things that have to go into, doing anything that requires, to perform digitally. If you think about it, if you were to do the event, you knew you needed, florists and music and lighting and video. So all the aspects of that. But when we move our business to a more digital format, you still need all those types of support things, but they're a little bit different. So they translate. Instead of needing flowers, you need our venue. We won't mention that horrible place that didn't really support you. And we need a venue, we need communication, we need all those same things. And we need it just like we would if we were planning a regular event or just running our business.
And on top of that, you're busy. You've
Yes.
got 1, 2, 3 businesses you're running and a whole bunch of other things going on in your life. I mean, I know it too. I run a full-time business and then I'm working on this passion project and I have kids. So, I mean, I get it. I totally get what people are going through. And, you know, you're trying to keep your business afloat and if people want to, I think this is a time where we can really reflect and hear stories like this and reflect and say, okay, like there is opportunity out there. Like there, you know, with these big problems that we're facing come big opportunities. And there's a lot of businesses that have started in an economic downturn.
Yes.
I mean, you think of like GE and IBM and GM and Disney and the Burger King and Microsoft and CNN and like the list goes on, like Apple. There's so many businesses that have started in, you know, this time of economic downturn because they saw something that people needed. So I think the point is to be listening and to really try and empathize with your customers right now. I mean, just call them and ask them, like, how can I support you right now? Because even if you have to shift that business model, you might have to pivot that business. You might have to go out of business and start something else. But there's opportunity out there.
It is. The economic downturn is fosters the next propulsion. And you talked a little bit about listening. So you certainly are listening. And can you want to say a little bit more about listening as it ties to our book? And then I'm going to share with you a little bit about the book and circle back.
Yeah, I think the key takeaway for me is to listen. I mean, I did choose that word for a reason, because if we can, you know, listen to, you know, shut out all the distractions that are going on right now, all this, you know, everything, if we can shut that out, like all these distractions that are really ever present today, and like get grounded and get clear and do that. If we can do that, we can start to receive these insights that we need from our customers, from our community, from our friends, certainly talking to people, but also just in our own minds, just synthesizing all the data we've gotten and realize, oh, this is how I can be of service. This is how I can help. This is where like my talents meet the needs of people that people have. And this is where they intersect, and oh, brilliant ideas come out of that. Businesses come out of that. So even if, you know, you're going out, you know, on the brink of going out of business or there, like we are, like already made the decision and are going through the paperwork to do that. Like there's just, I really strongly believe that there's something else on the horizon and it's right there. Like it's like your why is right there.
And it's all from listening, really, to be able to listen. But what an inspiration you are for so many people who are going through huge changes, and to, you know, be closing your business and to show up here with such passion, such vibrancy, that there's such a wonderful future. Amazing.
I also want to point out that like in this time of crisis, everyone's trying to collaborate right now. I mean, there are just so many opportunities to create collaborative and cooperative partnerships right now at this moment. I mean, even just a couple of weeks ago, we got together all the community leaders of all the different women's organizations in this area, and we had them all like in a panel together talking about stuff and really serving almost as a mastermind to each other and collaborating. And these are organizations that, you know, a few months ago we might have thought as competitors, and now they're not. And everyone's looking at each other going, okay, how can we work together? We're all in the same boat. Like, how can we help each other and lift everybody up? And that's happening right now. I mean, even in my business of market research, like my full-time job, even in that business, I reached out to a whole bunch of other market research agencies a couple weeks ago. I got a lot of conversations that came out of that by just saying, hey, we're all in this together. Can we just hop on the phone and talk about how we can support each other? And I would have never done that a few months ago, they're competitors. Why would you talk to your competitors? But I think this is a big opportunity to create these collaborative partnerships, because everyone's at home, they're sitting in front of Zoom, and they have time to talk.
Yep. It's a great opportunity. It's a wonderful time to be listening in to the community, listening into what we can do to pivot and to take our businesses to the next level. But I'm going to take a moment out. I'm going to share with you our book, The Canvas of Hope. You're being a best-selling author. So this is The Canvas of Hope. It's a guided journal, interactive journal, if you would, taking people through hope and inspiration through amazing art and incredible words that are uplifting, 38 uplifting words. And you chose listening. I bet you're dying to see what the picture looks like.
I am.
So here we go. It's listening.
Love it. And I love the sentence too. It says, I love listening to music in my house. And I love that because, I mean, as I was saying, you certainly can listen to your customers and you can listen to other people, but at the same time, like, you have to listen to your own insights and your own intuition, because that's where everything comes together. You've got to create the time to do that. And that's really, if you can see things through a lens of hope when you're doing that, it's just really, that's the key.
It is the key. It is. It's really where the rubber meets the road. It is around listening. It's about keeping an open heart when being faced with some really big, challenging things like going out of business. And out of that, the whole book is about transformation. So it's how can we transform where we are today to what we want for tomorrow, and keeping that hope and inspiration alive, that we can stay connected, we can listen, and we can do this together as a community. And I'm so touched by everything that you said. You're just a powerful person with a great vision. So I just want to...
Well, I'm so touched by everything that you're doing to support this incredible cause.
Yes. So how can our listeners find you right now? And I don't know if you have a new name for your new business.
We don't yet. It's just an idea at this point.
Okay. How can they find?
You can certainly find me, and I do have a small gift. You said to give a gift, so I do have a small gift. You can go to sarahweise.com to get to know who I am. SARAHWEISE. It's spelled weird. Sorry, WEISE. It's my husband's name, not mine. But you can go to sarahweise.com and you can get a free chapter of my book while you're there.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much. So we have our Canvas of Hope. As you know, we're raising money for the Leukemia Lymphoma Society. I come from a family of about 70% of the family that has cancer, face cancer.
And we were talking about this. I grew up, like, my cousin, who's 6 weeks older than I am, had leukemia when he was probably 9. And I remember going through that with him, like it was yesterday. I remember sitting in Mount Sinai Hospital and with him, and yeah, it's just.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. But
he's still with us. He's still with us, and
yes,
has his own family now and has kids, and yeah.
Absolutely. LLS is the leader in not only blood cancer research, but since 2000, 40% of all FDA-approved cancer treatments has come out of blood cancer research. So it's a really powerful number to think about all the other cancers on the landscape, cancer view, if you would, how they've helped and inspired so many people to extend their lives, save their lives, and so forth. So this is why even now during COVID-19, what we're facing, we will be donating a small portion of the money to COVID-19 funds here in and around the Northern Virginia area. I know for those viewers out there outside of this area, we're trying to provide a little bit of help and assistance to our local community while raising money for a national well-known LLS through the Leukemia Lymphoma Society's Man and Woman of the Year. You can find us on canvasofhope.org. And we really look forward to your support. And thank you so much again, Sarah, for joining this afternoon. I really appreciate it.